Related to that, I did mention the president's speech. 60 days since the president did deliver that hard-hitting speech on the state of the nation, hitting even harder on graft. Now here's KTN's Wilson Buru with the highlights of that particular speech.
Fellow Kenyans, honorable members, ladies and gentlemen.
60 days ago today, on March 26th, President Uhuru Kenyatta delivered his State of the Nation address to a joint sitting of Parliament. In the speech, which lasted an hour and 11 minutes, the president dedicated his last 12 minutes of that speech on corruption, and his government's assessment of this vice was quite clear.
Corruption is the greatest threat to our security, fundamental rights, and social-economic transformation.
Over the 12 minutes, the president would reiterate his government's commitment in the fight against graft, outline what his administration has been dealing with in terms of curbing the vice.
I have continuously engaged with all institutions charged with the responsibility to deal with corruption and firmly expressed my expectation
and castigate the said institutions for not doing enough, specifically calling out the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, which at that time was facing in-house squabbles.
The Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is now embroiled in infighting and finger-pointing, a state of affairs likely to cripple the investigative capacity of the institution, with a likely outcome of subverting the course of justice.
The president would then give directives on how he believed this vice that has crippled so many government operations since independence would best be nipped once and for all. He started by reminding public servants and constitutional office holders of their responsibility to uphold the highest standards of ethics. He then directed the Attorney General to ensure that proper legislation is in place for expedited hearing and completion of corruption cases.
The Council must ensure the efficient and speedy processing of corruption-related cases, including hearing such cases on a daily basis.
Then he dropped the bombshell.
I also hereby direct that all officials of the national and county governments that are adversely mentioned in this report, whether you are a cabinet secretary, principal secretary, or chief executive of a state institution, to immediately step aside.
Since then, 5 cabinet secretaries have stepped aside and investigations kicked off into the alleged allegations. But also in the same period, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission has gone through an internal war that left it without a chairman and 2 commissioners who all cited the infighting as creating unfavorable working conditions. That same commission has now asked for more time to prosecute all those on the list of shame, but adds that the charges against the CSs are ready. Wilson Buru, KTN Prime.